Today, I know I took a little bit too long, but me and my roommate were talking about, like, what were we talking about? Dogs. And you remember I told you that story about the dog getting high? It ate an edible, and then it started jumping randomly, and then started walking sideways. It was great. So, yeah, Em and Ted, we talked about that, and right now we're talking about religion. So, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, and it's kind of nice to have a peaceful conversation with someone. Um, yeah, a peaceful conversation without being like, how dare you? But I have seen that actually. So, what is that? A lady from not Czechoslovakia, it was somewhere in Europe that is a partial Muslim country, I think. Okay, yeah, that's a partial Muslim country, I think. And over there, she was actually, I think, originally from the mountains. Um, and so while she was over there, what was it? No. So she was here in America, and it was her. She was Muslim. My friend, our mutual friend, was a Christian, Messianic Christian. There we go, Messianic Christian. And then I think they had another roommate who is a Buddhist. This feels like the beginning of a joke. So, yeah. If you can come up with one, that'll be great. A Muslim and a Buddhist and a Christian all live together. There we go. The Buddhists assimilated both of the cultures and both of the religions. Why not? Anyways, I remember at one time, basically the Muslim and the Christian got into such a heated debate, I think about politics actually, that one of the ladies went ahead and threw something at the other lady. So yeah, I was like, and it wasn't big. I think it might have been like a towel or like something small, like a ball or something, and threw right past. So, but they're like best of friends. It's actually very, very interesting. So yeah. Also, I'm very happy. Maybe not happy. I guess I'm relieved that I'm taking this human anatomy and development or something class, because basically, what was it, that thing where it mentioned how you treat your sibling is how you will treat your spouse, kind of thing. So it's not the mom. I guess the mom is more so like the saints or whatever. Maybe to a certain degree it's like the mom, maybe like, hey, go ahead and check on mom if they're sick or whatever, I guess, I don't know, or get them gifts. But aside from that, how they treat their sibling is more so how they will treat you. Because I admit, like, growing up and just me and my sibling being choosing to be confined to our rooms, basically. And then outside of being confined to choosing to be confined to our rooms the majority of time, this was what grades? It was 11, 12, 13, and then 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, we mainly chose to be confined to our rooms. I would talk to people online. I don't know what my sibling did. She may have played video games, but I remember I did that. Just to kind of socialize with others. I honestly don't know what my sister did. I think, one sec, I'm trying to fix my hair. I had to fix my hair because it keeps my ears warm. I could also take this off, but oh well. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, what was it? So yeah, I remember them throwing stuff, and it's like, okay, interesting. But yeah, so I read the thing where basically how you treat your sibling will be how you treat your spouse. And in my case, I'm like, oh, okay. And it made me realize, like, with me and my sibling being confined, like, choosing to be confined to our rooms and not really interacting, and then, like, if And it wasn't necessarily that we did anything wrong. It was just like, I guess we were mainly afraid of being yelled at, or at least I was, like being yelled at and like having my parent, well, I guess my mom complained about anything and everything that we did. Um, and it's like, you know what? It's a lot easier to kind of avoid my mom versus trying to like appease her overall. And thinking about like whenever I read about the relative, I don't know, I guess it's like, oh, like some kind of aggression. Because I remember playing Sims game when I was younger, and like, what was it? Like, if you grow up in a healthy household, I'm guessing, you would want the people to be dressed decently and like decent characters and all that. And it's like, okay, ooh, cold hands. And it's like, okay, cool. But like, I remember whenever like screaming, yelling, and whenever I guess I emotionally didn't feel safe in the household, where it's like I see it as a hideout, that's like, you know what? I don't care. Like, let me go ahead and drown my Sims characters or like put them in slutty clothes and be major flirts and like sex fiends or sexphilia, basically, and want sex all the time. And they're Sims characters, so it's like it didn't matter as much. But I remember like that kind of aggressive type household. And I don't know, I guess a part of me, in a way, like before, it's like, okay, there's something buried in me that's like wants to fight, wants to be aggressive or whatever. And it's like, I will fight you if I have to. I will bite your ankles like a mighty chihuahua. Like, for example, in the war game that I'm playing, or that I like to play, what ends up happening is that because I'm very, very weak, I'm a free to play player, and other people they pay, like some people end up paying or have paid so far around $25,000 for their online character. And I'm guessing that they make the money. So how you spend your money, that is up to you. But I'm like, I'm completely and utterly free to play. Like, I'll do that. So, oh, yes, there we go. So I'm just like, wow, um, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. Um, yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and I would call myself, because I'm free to play, I would call myself Mighty Chihuahua, so I can't really do much damage. I'll just go ahead and bark and maybe like attack some of the smaller players or something, or maybe I'll like sort of attack and then, yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny. Mighty Chihuahua. So yeah. Um, but yeah, and then where it's like, oh, you get on my bad side, I will like, I guess, attack you in a way. But I'm like, whenever, I know you've experienced this, where you're in survival mode almost, and where you constantly feel as though you have to fight or be on the defensive in order to survive. And so I wonder also if I've been in a fight or a defensive mode for so long that I like still had those feelings of aggression, or like, I'm going to fight you or something like that. And then reading that, where it's like your sibling, how you treat your sibling will be how you treat your spouse. Reading that, I was like, you know what? Like me and my sibling, we would fight like when we were growing up. We didn't have, may not all the time, but we didn't have a healthy-ish relationship. And like how I've treated her, like the times that were bad, where basically she ended up not talking to me. It's like, I could have done things differently. There could have been some more. I honestly think that there were, maybe those bad times, but more positive times, more positive interactions with each other. I think she would be fine with like talking to me and such. But it's like there there were times in which we fought, or like fought. We didn't really fight. We just ignored each other, and we didn't really do anything good or positive. There we go. That I can think of. And so because of that, yeah, it's like part of me, I guess, is still kind of aggressive. Like, if my sister talked and was still in my life, or talked with me and was still in my life, there would be a part of me that would be like, I'm going to fight you. And that was simply because that's the life I kind of grew up with and knew. And then, again, whenever I saw those words about how you treat your sibling can be how you treat your spouse, I'm like, oh, like, you know what? I don't want to treat my spouse like that at all. So, yeah. It's like, you know what? Overall, I need to let that go and like be at peace and live with peace. And yeah, pretty much I think at this point, I have accepted that my sister probably won't ever talk to me again. And a part of me is like, who cares? Like, I don't know how to describe it. Give me a minute. Probably like the kid who's like really wants a toy, but they're begrudgingly accepting that they won't receive the toy. But a part of them is like, okay, you know what? I won't receive the toy, but I can still have a wonderful life without that toy. So, yeah. And yeah, her and I are taking different paths in life. I'm living life now, and then probably in like, so trying to think how old the kids are. Probably in like 14, 15 years, they may start living a life, though they have a house, so they might have to pay off the house first before they can like, no, take that back, no, they're traveling a little here and there, so yeah. But yeah, from what I can tell, it's only with certain, like, if they do visit, it's mainly his family. It's not with like my parents' side of the family. So from what I can tell, yeah, because I remember, yeah. And then also, like, my parents are like, well, they have 3 kids. And I'm like, but yeah, they do have 3 kids, but they've gone to theme parks. Yeah, so I'm like, they've gone to theme parks in the past, and they've done that. That is some bright. Yeah, so my thing is, like, they've still gone to theme parks. They've still done that. No idea why the cop has like bright lights on top. But yeah, so I'm just like, but at the same time, I don't know everything that's happening in their lives. So it could be that, again, they have 3 kids. Well, in the past, whenever they traveled, I think they had like, they were still child free, and it might have been just a day trip. And a day trip is a lot easier versus flying halfway across the country and staying for like a week or 2. So it makes a little bit of difference. So yeah. But yeah, I realized like, and I bet it was because like just growing up in my parents' household, and just growing up in the household that I lived in, and then like now it's like, you know what, I'm in an okay, safe place, and I can calm down. And if I need to bring out the mighty Chihuahua, I'm gonna have to like take a deep breath and sigh of like, not again. And just move forward and accept it and be like, all right, let me pull out my belt. Or call the cops or something else. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so that's something I've learned and realized. Oh yeah, I did see the video where basically that your cousin posted, where it's like the kid is acting up, or not acting up, is being super, super noisy, and the parent is coming in with like, all right, here's snacks, here's other stuff, and the kids are like, I want to constantly talk to you. If that's the case, oh my goodness. So what I will do if that ends up being the case, and especially if it ends up being, I don't know what will happen in the future, but let's say I end up being a stay-at-home mom for a few years. If that ends up happening, I am totally like, whenever the dad gets home, I'm gonna be like, hey, can you take the kids for like 2 hours so I can like take a shower and make dinner or something? Or you can make dinner and so I can watch an adult show. What I mean by adult show is like not Dora the Explorer, but so that way I can go ahead and watch like Passion of the Christ or something rated R or PG-13, and just like, yeah, like, was it Equilibrium? The cleanest rated R movie I've ever seen. I'm like, what? Aside from that, there's rated R movies from like the 1940s, 1950s, and I'm like, this is rated R? Like, there's no suspense. It was suspense for back then, not for now. There's no suspense. It's not really scary. Like, I could tolerate it. I don't like scary movies or suspenseful movies. I was like, okay. Yay. So, yeah. Person just parked. But yeah, so anyways, yeah. But yeah, I thought that was great. I would be like, just like, give me. I thought that was great. The video where she's like overstimulated, just, yeah. It's, I understand now why parents are like, we're going to take you to the park and just let you run loose. Use up all that energy, play with other kids, and I can read a book, like an adult book, not Bambi. Maybe we should. And not the Brothers Grimm version of Bambi either, where basically it's like, oh yeah, the hunter killed mom. Don't use drugs. Don't use guns. The hunter killed a live animal. Make it as dark as possible. No, we're not going to use the Brothers Grimm version. I'm totally going to read some adult novels, though, where it's like, I don't know, Star Wars, or biographies, something like that. Just something that's not that, just, yeah. I mean, I'm totally open to reading kids' books. I enjoy reading kids' books. It'll be fun not to for a little while. Oh, speaking of reading kids' books, I totally want to do maybe on a nightly basis, or as often as, at least like, a few times a week, basically read the kids at bedtime, because I remember my parents, they would read like the kids' Bible to us, so it had photos in it, and then also it told the story of different Bible stories, but then also they would go ahead and read other kids' books to us, so it was really cute. And then my dad really loved us girls, because there was this book called The Puppy Who Wanted a Boy. Again, he loved us girls, because he changed it so it wasn't the puppy who wanted a boy. He would say the puppy who wanted a girl. So he would say the puppy who wanted a girl, and then he would go, like, the puppy would go ahead and walk up to different kids, and it's like, excuse me, will you share my girl, or share your, not my girl, will you share, like, talk to other dogs, will you share your girl? And then, like, at the very end, the puppy finds a home, and it's like, won't mom be thrilled that I found a home where I get like 13 girls for Christmas? And it's like, it was at an orphanage. So yeah, I was like, oh. So yeah, person. But yeah, so overall, so my parents read to us growing up, and then because of that, that's why as long as I find the right book, I actually enjoy reading. So yeah. Let's see what else. But yeah, thank you for that. I do appreciate it. If I could, I definitely would give you a hug overall. So, yeah. This is it. I would hug every part of you. I would hug your head and then hug your arm and then hug your body and then get down and hug your leg and then hug your feet and then tickle your feet. So, yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Hope you have a great day. Bye. I love you.